All right, so tonight we are replacing the PTO switch on the tractor. Lately when I've been mowing, when I go in reverse and pull up on the switch, it does not want to stay engaged. And then as soon as I let off the switch, the PTO engages. That's mostly an annoyance, but the bigger issue I would say overall is the fact that I don't like having the PTO engage at a high RPM. So if and I apologize for being dirty, but if I'm mowing at just over 2,500 RPM at the rated PTO setting, every time I kick in and out of the PTO running, I'm putting more wear and tear on the clutch. So ideally I'm kicking in or engaging the PTO below 1,500 RPMs and then revving it up to spec. So this switch should just pop right in when the old one pops out. I'm hoping, I have not looked at this yet, I'm hoping that I can do this by just simply opening the hood. Don't mind how dirty this thing is, but we are in a gravel pole barn. So hoping to pull this hood off or open it up and then pop the switch in. Okay, so the bad news is that I opened the hood and I can't get my hand back there. I can feel and wiggle the switch from behind. So I know it's pretty accessible. What I'm gonna try to do actually is loosen up a nut on each side or a bolt on each side and see if I can't pop this whole black piece off a little bit. Because it looks like a little bit more involved to actually take the hood off. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I got all the bolts off, removed the throttle lever, and it's starting to pop off. Okay, so you'll see I put the hood back down. I have this piece pulled out. I'm now completely loose but connected to electrical, so I don't want to yank it off or anything like that. So I'm actually going to reach behind now and wiggle that switch loose. You'll see on this switch, fairly straightforward, but basically you push in on those clips on the end on each side, and that'll allow it to pull through the dash. Okay, so we got the switch out. I did have to wrestle with it a fair amount. I would say if you're doing this and you don't have a suicide knob on your tractor steering wheel, that I would take the wheel off, and it's actually quite easy. You'll see this just kind of pops off like this, and then underneath there's a bolt in the center. So that's pretty easy. I didn't think it was worth it because I just didn't want to take off the knob, which also would have been very quick, but I think I saved myself time even though I had to kind of wrestle with this. So you can see it is fairly dirty, as the whole tractor is right now, but the dealer said these don't go bad that often. I kind of disagree with that. I feel like I've heard of them going bad with some frequency. He was basically saying, you know, there's a good chance with the amount of snow blowing that you did, maybe some moisture got in there. It is always possible that the wiring's bad. I'm gonna start with the switch and cross my fingers. It's a $20 fix, and I'm gonna test it probably before I put it all back together, just to play it safe as well, but just something to consider. All right, so we are fully back installed. Just to recap, there were 4 bolts to take out. One was here, there were 2 in the steering shaft, and then one on this other side in the same position. Those were the ones that were that applied to the plastic for the console or the dash. The 5th that was not totally part of that was this one for the throttle, which had that rubber cover over it. And then the 6th, which I found to be optional, was taking off the steering wheel, which again I did not do because of the suicide knob. It does help to kind of maneuver the hood. So at times you want it up, at times you want it down. Once you get the dash loose, you actually want to put the hood down, and that'll significantly help you in your process of pulling it out. And this is a 2014 2032R. I believe this would also apply to any 2720 tractor, but this is the Gen 1 2032R. So the setup on the 2038, 2032R of Gen 2 should probably be different as well.